Today's episode is about rabbit housing. Hi everybody, thanks so much for stopping by the Homestead. My name is Sarah from Living Traditions Homestead, and today is another episode of our series called How to Raise Rabbits for Meat. And we've talked about a lot of things, but we have not talked about housing for the rabbits. So today I'm going to spend some time talking to you about the two different types of rabbit housing that we have. The cages up off the ground for our breeders, and the rabbit tractors that we have on the ground for growing out our baby rabbits into what will eventually become our meat supply. So we're going to get started with our breeder section. Well, I've had you guys in here with me at least one time when I was talking about breeding. And so we're back in here with the breeders, and I just want to go over with you the kinds of cages that we're using for our breeders, the dimensions, the realities of raising rabbits off the ground, and kind of what you need to deal with and what you can expect, and then some other just kind of tips. So these are our standard cages. The size of them are 3 feet long, 2 feet deep, and 18 inches high. Now that gives the rabbits enough room to walk around. It's high enough for them to stand up, because they like to do that a lot, and sniff around, and it gives enough room for the moms to also have their nesting box in there with them, and still have enough room for the babies and enough room for them to eat and drink and still just kind of sprawl out and lay down. Every cage has its own feeder, its own water bottle, and inside the cages it's very important for you to have something for the rabbits to come off of the wire instead of them standing on the wire and laying on it all the time. It can become kind of uncomfortable for them. So there are a couple different options for you. The free option is just a piece of wood cut into a rectangle for them to stand on and lay on. They enjoy these. They like to push them around. They like to flip them upside down, and they'll chew on them occasionally, and that's fine. Another option are these things, which you can buy on Amazon, and I'll have Kevin put a link down there for you. They lay inside there, and they're designed to clip onto the wire bottoms of the cages, and it just allows them a nice spot to lay down if they would like to. Both of these things are important for them to have. So that's the sizes and kind of what we have included in there. Each one, I keep nesting boxes on each one of them, so when I need it I can just clean it out and put it in there. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about is the reality of raising rabbits off the ground in a stationary place where you're not moving them, every single day. And maybe some people will avoid this topic, but I really want you all to have all the information so that you don't get into it and then say, gosh, I really hate this part of raising rabbits. And the reality is they go to the bathroom. There's rabbit poop to deal with, and there's urine to deal with. And one thing that a lot of people don't think about is there's rabbit fur to deal with. Rabbits go through a molt once a year, and in general they just lose their hair all along. And rabbit hair kind of flips all over the place. It gets caught up in the breeze, and it gets caught in places. Missouri has a ton of spiders, and they also make spider webs. So a lot of the rabbit fur just kind of collects on places. It collects on the cage wire. It collects on these chains and stuff. And then as the spiders make webs places, it just collects rabbit fur. So it's everybody's own decision how much they want to worry about that or not. The other issue that I talked about is rabbit manure, rabbit poop. It collects underneath the cages, and from time to time you need to shovel that out and either put it on your garden, put it in your compost. What we do is we save our old feed bags, and when we're cleaning up we put it in feed bags, and so it can dry in there, and then we can save it until we need to spread it on the garden. So that's that. And the other thing, it can be kind of unsightly, is that the rabbits really urinate quite a bit. And You can see that underneath here, well, first of all, the walls that they are attached to are wooden. And if we just let them urinate on the wood, it would destroy the wood, it soaks into it, and it would smell. What we've done is put plastic, like roofing panels underneath here. We've attached that. So when they urinate on it, it actually just kind of drips down into the ground, and it doesn't soak into anything. It's not pretty, but it's the reality of the situation. So that's just kind of the way it is. Now, I want to talk with you about the surface of the ground when you're raising rabbits off the ground. The best thing for you to do is to have them over dirt, not concrete, not a wood floor, not pavers or wood or something like that. If you have them over dirt, then the dirt can do its job and absorb the urine naturally. It can, and the smell just kind of dissipates. I can tell you that I know of people that have had them, you know, in their garages or up on a concrete slab, and it's really a constant smell of urine. And once that urine soaks into that concrete or those pavers or whatever it is that you have down there, it's so porous that the smell of that urine stays forever, and it is so strong. There are some people who choose to have pans underneath all of their cages. In fact, these cages, which we bought from someone else, Kevin now makes all of our cages, these cages were designed to have pans underneath them so that all of the urine and the feces would get caught there, and then you'd take them out and dump it somewhere. That is an option for everybody. It's a lot of extra work, and in my opinion, it's unnecessary. The ground just soaks up the urine. You can just shovel up the manure and take it to your garden or put it wherever else you want to, and that's just it. So that's the information that I have for the breeder cages. I'm going to go over in depth the water bottles and the feeders that we use once we get out to the rabbit tractors. So let's go take a look at the different designs of rabbit tractors that we're using and look at them a little bit more in depth. The first tractor I want to go over with you is our oldest tractor design. This tractor was made about 5 years ago. We brought this one and another one just like it with us from Arizona when we moved here. I enjoy this design because it's easy for me to move by myself. On each end there is one handle that I can pick up and slide to the next location on one end and then go to the other end. The opening for the door is here. So you get them in and out this way, and then it locks here with a little lock. This rabbit tractor is 8 feet long, 3 feet wide, and just about 3 feet tall. And the food and water are both at this end. This is not our preferred design anymore. We don't make this design. It is very hard for me to get in and out of there to grab the rabbits when it's time to process them. It also has not very much coverage from the sun and from the rain. Over here in this little house area is the only place that they can get out of the sun and out of the rain. So let's go look at the next tractor. This is our second design of rabbit tractors. We designed it this way so that it would be easy for us to get in and out and easy to get the rabbits in and out. Now it also has a lot more protection from the sun, a lot more shade, and a lot more protection from the rain, which is helpful. However, because it is so big and bulky, it is really pretty heavy for me to move by myself. I can do it, but it's a lot more inconvenient than a smaller size. It also costs more for us to make because it's so much bigger. So this also is not our preferred design of rabbit tractors. The dimensions of this tractor are 8 feet long by 3 feet wide and 2.5 feet high. This is our final design. This is the design that we will be continuing with our rabbit tractors. The design of this was made by Kevin. All of these were made by Kevin, but this one he has a video on, and this is the one that we recommend. Okay, so the difference between this one and the last one is it's shorter. It's shorter, it costs less, and it's lighter and easier for me to move around. It is 6 feet long, 3 feet wide, and 2 feet high. Now, there is still plenty of room for these rabbits to run around and be rabbits. I move them every day. They get fresh ground every single day, and they are just so happy to be in here. So this is what we'll be using going forward. Now, you can see that there's still a water bottle here. There is still a feeder in the back. There is still plenty of room for them to get away from the sun and away from the rain. So this is what we recommend. I want to go over with you the type of water bottles and the type of feeders that we use and why. There is one particular type of water bottle that we recommend and one particular type of feeder that we recommend. Now there are several different types of water bottles that you can use for your rabbits. There are other kinds of systems that you can develop, and whatever works for you best, great. But what we choose to use as far as water bottles are these square water bottles. The plastic is very, very durable. Ours last for, I don't know, 5 years or so before we have to replace them. They come with a wire holder that holds it on to the cage, like over there, and it comes with a nice top. Inside the mouthpiece is a little gasket, and that's really important. You need to make sure that your water bottles have this little gasket. It prevents air from getting in there, and then it prevents all the water from just dripping out all of the time. These can be pretty hard to find. We haven't found them in any of the stores around here within an hour. We're actually ordering ours online, and we'll put a link below to the Amazon link for these. We've had to order them and can't find them around here. And actually, when we were living in the city, in the Phoenix area, I think there was only one pet store in the whole valley that kept these. And so we would stock up. Now we order a bunch of them just to make sure that we have them on hand when we need them. These are the feeders that we're using. They're the extra long feeders, and there's a top on them, which is important because these will be out in the elements. And I prefer the feeders that have the open grate on the bottom, so that as kind of the crumbs and the dust and things form in there, it allows that to fall out and it doesn't gunk up the bottom of your feeders. So that's what we are recommending for water bottles and for feeders. Now, two things I want to just quickly address with you. We've gotten some questions and comments and things about our rabbit tractor design. The first question is about having the wire bottoms. Now, that's not something that I have talked about yet today, but the bottom of all of our rabbit tractors are wire so that they cannot dig out and so that predators cannot dig in. We've had some questions about whether or not the rabbits will chew on the wire and break their teeth. I'm not sure where that has come from, but it must be out there somewhere that rabbits will chew on wire and break their teeth. We've never had that happen. We've never heard of that happening, and that just is not a problem for us. We raise hundreds of rabbits a year. We've never had one rabbit break its teeth on the wire, and I've never seen them even chew on it. The other thing that I want to talk about is whether or not the rabbits will chew on the wood inside here or chew through it. The bottom line is yes, absolutely, they're going to chew on it. You know, we've had those triangular tractors for over 5 years now. Every single litter has chewed on the rabbits in there, but we've had not one situation where they've actually chewed through there and have broken the boards. Now, you know, from time to time you might need to replace some parts on your rabbit tractor, but I guarantee you that you can salvage a lot of it. You may have to replace one board, you may have to replace the entire frame, but you can hold on to this wire and reuse it again. You can hold on to the roofing and use it again. So I wouldn't let that deter you from using rabbit tractors and using them out of wood, the wood frames. So, you know, if you have questions about anything that we do here on the homestead, especially with rabbits, you just let us know. Ask those questions in the comments section. We love to interact with you guys, and we love to share our knowledge. If you liked this video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. So until next time, you guys, take care and God bless.